With us yesterday morning, after the shortest night of the year, followed the longest day. So if you've seen any darkness over the last 24 hours, you've done well. One of the ways we found out that people were marking the summer solstice was at Eaton Golf Club, where the club captain Andy Hood and his son Matt were playing 100 holes. That was the idea yesterday, between sunrise and sunset. How did they get on when they finally got to what we would usually call the 19th hole, or in this case is the 101st hole? Andy, good morning.
Good morning.
You sound pretty bright and breezy, all things considered. I suppose I should ask you, how are you feeling this morning?
I feel fine. I'm slightly achy in the hips, but apart from that, I feel fine.
I'm not surprised. So did you manage it? What, 100 holes? So we worked that out as just over 5.5 rounds. How did you get on?
It was 5 rounds and 10 holes, 25 miles, and 55,000 steps. It was great.
And you did it. You got 100 holes completed.
We did. We finished at around 7:45 p.m. yesterday, having started at 4:15 a.m.
Yes, well, 4:15 a.m. Wow. So that in the end, because of when sunset was yesterday, you had a good, well, not nearly 2 hours to spare, didn't you? So congratulations.
We had 2 hours to spare to sit and have a couple of beers in the 19th hole, as you discussed earlier.
No, it's the 101st hole for you.
Of course it was, yes.
Amazing. So what were did you keep scores?
Yes, I kept the scores. I scored reasonably well. My son perhaps not quite as well. He's got a slightly higher handicap than me. And we were supported all the way around by all of our members. The lady members were letting us through and encouraging us, trying to give us water and energy bars. Lots of people at the end for the 100th hole to cheer us into the last putt.
Oh, that's brilliant. I imagine then, this is how I imagine it went, Andy, that you probably started off quite well and full of vim and vigour and enthusiasm for it. There was probably a spell where that enthusiasm and probably the form as well tailed off and you got a bit better towards the end. That's how I imagine these things go.
To be fair, it was fairly consistent all the way through. There was good holes and bad holes. It's golf. You can't, unless of course you're a professional, play absolutely superbly all the time. But to be fair, it felt like a long practice day, and with everybody's support, it just made it feel really good.
What was the best shot you played, Andy? Because I know what golfers are like. I bet when you got to bed last night, you were thinking, "Well, that shot I played on the 72nd hole, whatever it might have been."
Well, to be fair, I had my best 9 holes on. I think it was the third round, the back 9. I had 3 birdies on the back 9, which was quite remarkable when you consider how many holes we've played.
Yeah, that's the form you want to bottle, isn't it? And what about, because one issue we covered yesterday was if you spend too long looking for lost balls or going out of bounds, or if you have to walk too far, that's going to make the challenge more difficult. Was there a moment yesterday where you played a shot that you just thought, oh no, it's getting to me, it's catching up with me?
I lost two balls yesterday, the first on the 45th hole. My son, unfortunately, lost a few more than that. I think his bag's a lot lighter than it was when he started.
You said your hips are sore this morning. It sounds like your son might be suffering even more. Would that be fair?
He had a hip replacement at a very, very young age, and I think he's struggling a little bit this morning. His calf last night was rather stiff. He sat down for his beer, and his calf cramped up. I think he was struggling a little bit more than I was. Bless him.
Oh dear. But it was all for a good cause, wasn't it, Andy? You didn't just do this for a laugh.
No, it was all for cancer research. We've got cancer research as our charity for this year. And Sally Benton, the lady captain, came out at 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday to see us off, because she was going to be doing the challenge, but she's been unwell, so she was unable to do it. I think the ladies are going to do a relay next week for cancer research. We've had so much support for the charity, because there are several members of the club who are suffering with cancer, living with cancer and trying to recover from cancer. That cancer research has been a great charity this year, and hopefully we've raised lots of money for it.
Well, Andy, well done you. Well done to your son as well. The calf cramp is definitely worth it. You can do the same next year?
We'll have to think long and strong about that. It's a very long day, 15 and a half hours of golf, and it's perhaps easy to say yes after you've forgotten how difficult it was.
Are you playing today?
No, I'm going to go for a little with the dog in a little while, but I'm playing tomorrow at Swaffham.
Oh, you have one day off, fair enough. Andy Hood, what about that? Captain of Eaton Golf Club, where he played 100 holes yesterday with his son between sunrise and sunset, marking the longest day. And sounds like they had a great time. Sounds like they really enjoyed it. We've been sent some lovely pictures of them in action as well.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio Norfolk.
and on your radio.
The sound of Norfolk is